What's up, guys? Let's talk CAD. So, CAD, C-A-D, stands for Computer-Aided Design. Design is what we love to do as humans. We have this idea and we want to actually put it into reality. It's just something that God just hardwired into us. We love to create, just like He created. So we've got like an idea. Let's say it's a cell phone holder. And we want to make it. Well, it used to be where we draw it out and, oh yeah, so I'm going to make it this angle and the phone is this wide and all this stuff. And it'll work. And so then you would take that and you'd get your tools and you'd cut and carve and make it, and yay, it doesn't work. You got to go back to the drawing board and start again. Tools have been developed over the years to help this process be more efficient. And one of those was the computer, and the computer helps greatly with design. And software has come out called CAD software, computer-aided design software, which basically allows you to draw things on the computer, and then with that object, you can turn it around, you can see all in and out and whatever, and then you can actually, nowadays, you can take that and just print it out on a printer and have the object there. You can see, will it work? Will it not work? I mean, the whole design process has been simplified, if it made more efficient over the years. So there's been many different types of CAD software. So each company will come out with their own, and so you have one, and a lot of them, there are many that are free. For instance, one is Fusion 360. If you're a student, it's free, very powerful, but a little bit too complex. More than we really need right now. The next step would be SketchUp. SketchUp's also free. However, they're moving more and more in a direction that I don't really like. They're doing web-based stuff, and now as a student, you can still get the desktop version, and not only the desktop version, but the pro version, which gives you more functionality. So it's certainly a great option for creating your objects. However, there's one more option. Actually, there's many more options, but there's one that I really want to use because it stays on the same track that we've been on, which is writing code. And I know, I hope that doesn't scare you, but if it does, we're only going to be spending 2 weeks on this. So without further ado, let's talk about OpenSCAD. Go over to a web browser and navigate your web browser to OpenSCAD. I like to, for some reason, type Google first. OpenSCAD. I don't know what the S stands for, so there you have it. There's the answer. Then click on your first one, OpenSCAD, and voila! Look at this beautiful website. I mean, honestly, I think it's beautiful. And we're going to go down to downloads, or not down to, but over to downloads. And then we're going to go to Windows. And which one is it again? I'm sorry, back to the home page. We're back on home. I clicked home. Yeah. And then just click download OpenSCAD. And I tell you what, this thing is just the tiniest little file. And it'll be downloaded before you can, well, in a few minutes. While that's downloading, let me take a second to show you the web page. So here you can see an example of what it actually looks like in the software. So over to the left, we have some sort of script, and then over to the right, we have the actual object that's being created. At first glance, this might seem like, no, we don't want to do that. But just it is actually much, much more simple than the other options. All the other options are GUI based, graphical user interface. So there's a picture in front of you and you get to click the buttons and whatnot. And that can get really overwhelming because you have all these pictures and, well, what does each one do? And like, this keeps it all very simple. There's no pictures other than, there's a few. And there's a bunch of text. So you write out exactly what you want it to do, and over to the right, you see the product. All right, so my download is complete. For those of you who are at school, that you should already have this. For those of you who are at home, you're going to have to do this process. I should have said that before, but whatever. So we're going to hit OpenSCAD, and This thing takes like a millisecond to download, and there's like nothing. You just click install, and that's it. It's done. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. And we're going to open up OpenSCAD. And here we're welcomed with the intro GUI. And so let me take a second to talk about this. So here we have new, open, and that sort of thing. Recent section, that's where you can go to get your recent previous files you've been working on. Here's some good, here's a really, really good place to start, okay? But I'm going to come back to this. But you can see here some examples, and this will help you a ton. This helps give you some ideas of like, how do I create something like that? And you can look at the code. All right, so we're just going to click New and make this big. And there, what do you know? Beautiful. Quick moving around. If you the left clicker allows you to rotate. Right clicker drags it from side to side. Here we can actually, I think, let's go ahead and close the customizer and the console. I think that's safe to do, just to clean up the GUI a little bit. If you ever want those back, they're simply right here. They're underneath View, Hide Console, Hide Customizer. And so here we have a blank slate. You know what, I think I can, yeah, that's fine. We have some visualization options here where we can see it from the top, from the side, and such and such. Here we have orthometric and parallel view. Parallel looks more like real, and then orthometric is just kind of, everything's just straight up and down. So if that doesn't make any sense, don't worry. You don't have to. All right, so let's put this in orthometric. The isotropic view, which I actually don't know which one that is. So, moving right along. Use your left cursor to reposition the origin. The origin means, right, it's the beginning at the 0, 0, 0. And over here we can type stuff. Well, what in the world do we type? Let me show you. Head over to the help and then cheat sheet right there. It opens up a web page. Yeah, it opens up a web page and it gives you this. This is actually really, really handy. And all that I wanted to show you for now is these two sections here, really. So this is what so we got syntax. Remember that word? That's another one that is important to take a look at. But on the surface, big picture. Here we have different shapes: sphere, cube, cylinder, polyhedron, and other things. And so you kind of get an idea from that's how you're going to be creating those shapes, right? So. And then we also have transformations. This is important. This helps you move these objects around and rotate, scale, resize, mirror, and all that sort of stuff. So that's another way that you can manipulate these objects. So let's talk about just adding a simple sphere. Head back over to SCAD, and in SCAD we're going to type sphere, and then let's just specify some sort of diameter, which let me briefly look here. So radius, and then so it says you can type in a radius, and then it has some sort of pipeline, and then D. This is so that this is telling you that either or. So you can type out a radius being just a number. Or you can write D before the number, and it'll interpret it as a diameter. So it depends on how you are understanding your sphere and how you're measuring your sphere. So now don't forget, you have to use your colons and not enter, but this little thing. And voila, there we have a sphere. It's a fairly ugly sphere, but that can be adjusted. So anyways, that is how you simply draw a sphere. So it seems fairly simple, right? Let me show you an example. Now you get to your examples by clicking File, Examples, Basic, and let's just start with the first one. Which is not exactly the easiest, but it's the first one. So, all right. So there's a lot of text going on. There's a lot of text. First thing to note is that all the green, it is comments. Those are all comments, and so you can you don't necessarily have to worry about it. However, I would pay attention to comments because sometimes they can be very helpful. In this case, it has more to do with the author and stuff like that, in which case we can just ignore. So first thing to note, here's a sphere. So we're familiar with spheres, and we can see that they're making spheres. And over here, there are indeed spheres. But they also have something else going on. They have a translate. They have translate going on. And it's doing something to these spheres. And you can tell here that there's two translations, and then that's it. So like it looks like three different things, right, going on, and two of them are translations. And we notice here that one is at the origin and two are away from the origin. And translate would mean to like move over. So you can kind of start to put the pieces together and realize that's what translate is doing. So all I want you to do today is create a sphere and move it away from the origin, let's just say 10. So move it away from the origin 10. I don't know the units on this, so yeah. But get that sphere to be created just 10 away, either up, left, right, doesn't matter, from the origin. XYZ, you can see which one is which right here. That will show you which one's which. Okay, guys, so this is SCAD. We're going to have a lot of fun. Just trust me.